Okay, welcome to this video course about manipulation, pixel art manipulation. So we'll be going straight to manipulation with shapes, how to manipulate most shapes. Now we're going straight ahead. This is a continuation of the pixel art text manipulation. So this is the pixel art shape manipulation. So I know that this is what you get when you open your pixel app. So now, and for you to get your shape, you have to click on this stuff, this middle two here. That's where you get your shape. Or you could simply tap on this plus sign and it will show you shapes. So but most times I actually use this tool here. So once I click on it, then there's a shape here. So what I'll do is this, I'll tap on the shape. Now this is what you get. Once you open it, you get a square shape. So for you to use any shape, you have to click on this to get different types of shapes you're looking for. And one thing you have to know is that pixel art shapes are limited. This just, we like call it a conventional shape. There's no kind of abstract shape here. All shapes here ranging from square, circle, half circle, and star. All these shapes, they are just, like say, they are fixed. You can actually use them. But this is a trick. You can actually modify a shape too. Yes, I've modified some shapes. So you have to kind of, any shape you want, you could try to want to get your desired shape. So we can go with whatever shape you're looking for. So let's go with this square. You could turn your square to rectangle like this. You could do anything you're looking for. Now I've seen a lot of persons don't know that. Now all this shape comes with a very straight edge, a sharpened edge. So now sometimes you want it to have a rounded shape, because this morning someone was asking me, how do I make my shape edge to look rounded, and they don't know. So you see this radius sign here. By the time you increase it, you're rounding the shape. Watch this whole edge here, they look rounded. So now the more you increase it, the more you get what you're looking for. If I increase it, I'll get a cycle, almost a cycle. So you just need to increase it a little just to get what you're looking for. And that is that. Then this is what we call fill. Now this opacity, the same thing. This opacity is to reduce it, to make it visible or less visible or more visible. Now this opacity is needed when you want to create just an edge. You don't want the full shape. So if I decrease it, then once I increase the stroke, look at what I'll get. So instead of getting the full shape, I'm just getting just the edge or the outline. So let's go back. Then this is to color it. You could also use a gradient for it. Now the stroke too, you could also use a stroke. So whatever you're doing, it will be taking the form of that radius. Now you can also reduce the opacity of your stroke. Now this is what I used one certain time, and the thing came out very well. Let me use this color. Then let me use the color for my gradient. Remember, I reduced the opacity of the gradient, and watch what I'm going to do. So let me use red. Let me use it as a design I did and came out very well. So you could play around this stuff. Watch. It's visible. So something like this, and somebody will be wondering, how did you manage to do something like this? So you could play around all this stuff. Now this is another thing. Now also, when I'll be designing, I'll show you what I mostly use this blur radius for. Now this blur radius is to increase the blurriness of the stroke. So let me increase the opacity of the stroke. Now this is what happens. Now use this blurriness now to cover image or any shape that is cut that is looking somehow. There's some image you can't leave like that on your design. You need to cover it up, or it will show that the thing is cut. So I use this thing. Let's imagine now that the background, this main background is what I'll be using. So let me get the image. Okay, let me do this thing. Well, okay, this is a gradient, that's why it's not giving me a good color. But along this video, I'll show you what I use this blur radius for, to cover something like this. Let me say I want to cover this new. So now if the color of this shape and the background is the same thing, it will cover it. It looks as if you're fading the edge of this whole thing. So let's just go back to, let's try circle. This is all white, and no need for this stroke for now. So let's click OK. So once you click, as we used to do, we'll try every tool here, every good tools here for manipulation. So we're already acquainted with all this, so we'll go straight to your texture. Could do different magic with texture here. So let's take this for instance. Now once you've gotten your texture, you could maintain the ratio. This ratio now is this. When you're scaling this thing above, there will be difference depending on what you want. Let me disable it. Okay, this is not visible, it's not showing here, but what I'm trying to say is that there's some image you'll be using as a texture. Once you enable it, it will change the orientation. It will change like the size or the ratio of the image. It's either it will increase it or to make it look smaller. So this is what this texture is all about. You could use this to do amazing design. Especially you could use this to do patterns too. Your texture, could use it to do pattern, different types of pattern you're looking for. So that is that for this shape, for this texture rather. Then your opacity is almost the same thing like the other one. Then color filter. Then this color filter, let me import an image. Okay, no, let me look for a better image. Okay, let me use my boss home. Although this is already on black and white, but this black and white image was gotten from this color filter. Now when you get a normal image and you want to make it black and white, with this color filter you could do that. You could change the hue. So you could do every magic in this place with this color filter. So alright, then for stroke, same thing. Stroke, you could use the stroke for anything you're looking for. Could increase it, but this is a problem now with using stroke with shape. This stroke increases this, like once you're increasing your stroke, increases in terms of square. It doesn't increase it based on the orientation of the shape you're using. Now watch this edge. Watch this edge is looking flat instead of rounded. Watch this one too. Watch this one too. Watch this one too. So when you over increase your stroke width more than two, then you start seeing this shape and it will look somehow. Let me click. See, it's not looking fully rounded. So if you want to use a stroke instead of doing something like this, what I do is this. I'll just click off, copy this size, increase it, then disabled, then I'll take it back. And I've gotten what I want to do with my stroke. If you watch, it's rounded exactly like a circle. So let's continue. Then eraser. This eraser, I use it now. This eraser, I use it to erase background. There's some background that this erase color could not erase completely, and sometimes I just want to erase. Let me say I want to erase this stuff now, a part of it, not the full. This is what I'll do. You increase it, it's almost like erase background app. So increase it there. I've used this most times in logo. I want to, it's almost looking like erase background. And aside that, instead of using this erase tool, you see this tool that I just click to, this tool here. Now once you get an image, you want to erase the background, what you just do is that once you map this thing around the image, the place that is not mapped will be erased. So I don't know if this could work. Now see, suppose this is a real image. Now sorry, so supposing this is an image, it will the place that was not cropped within that stuff will be erased. This I erase it in, like there is what to call in erase. Let me try another one. Let this out, like to erase everything outside and leave the one inside. So that is what this tool is all about. And you know the best thing, you can zoom and erase anything you want to do. So let me use this image and demonstrate it. Now this, the erase tool, you could use it to erase this stuff. You could decrease it to erase this stuff. Now this, if you want to erase it to look blur. Now this is when, maybe imagine importing this image and this edge here is looking off. So sorry, once you're erasing it, is blurring the edge. It's not making it look sharp, blurring it. If you watch this thing, it look blur. Now if you increase it, look sharp. Then let's try this too. This is what will happen. I'm not doing very well. Then watch. As simple as possible. So supposing I did very well, you see it, I could increase it. Maybe let's use, I know the best thing about this is that your quality will not be reduced, because most of the erased background, once you're doing anything with them, they reduce your quality. So, and whatever you're doing, you're watching here, or this thing will come up, you know what how you're going about it. And when you're done, you click you're good. So then max 2, this max 2 is needed to remove some things too you don't want, especially if you're trying to create a mock-up. This max 2 will be needed. So let's move it. Why it's not showing like it's not showing is because of this is a texture. Okay, let me hide it. Okay. So it could also max out. Let me move this and let me scale it down. So could then once you're done, then you use this bezier mode to get what you're looking for. So like I said, you can create any abstract shape with Pixel. Create any abstract shape with Pixel. You see this action here? This is to remove, to cancel. This is to add more nodes. What more mode? Let me click on it. Watch, a mode have been added. This one here been added. So keep an eye. Another one will be added if I click on it. This again have been added. So why this is to cancel, to remove these nodes. Why this is to remove the node. Is looking, you see the bad sign here. This is to add, you see the plus sign. Then this is to scale it to whatever you want. Then this is to rotate it. So then this another thing idea here is this. Now you see this plus sign. It's to, in case you want to double this whole pixel mode. Now let me click at this copy. Now I've created two. Now if I want to edit, they're almost close, and if I want to edit on the first one, I'll just have to click on this arrow to move it to number one. Then anything I'm doing is number one, I'll be touching. Then if I want to do to number two, then I'll move it. Then if I don't want it, if I want to delete it, I want to delete the second stuff, I press on this bar, then it goes back. Then I can add more things I want to do, but I just want to leave it like this. So let me OK it. So you could create any shape you're looking for. Now straight to your 3D. Now just like the alphabet, the 3D is the same thing. You could do anything you want to do, be it oblique, then increasing the depth, reducing the darkness, okay. So you could play around with this stuff. You could play around with this. So this depends on whatever you want to do. You can add a color too. Can add shadow. Can use your perspective too. So this perspective too is the same way that it was done with the pixel lab, the text manipulation. So this perspective, you could use it to place your text in any perspective you want it to be. So that is for this perspective too. So what the best thing to do is to be conversant with all these two and use them. To be conversant with all the tools. Let me change the color of this background. like that. If you introduce the inner shadow, let's see. Okay, let's reduce this blurriness. Let's increase it. Try to look for a color that will match this. Okay. So let me go with the plain color. Okay. Then let me turn back to the inner shadow. So you have to play with everything. Don't just use it like that. Try everything. If it's possible, I even try the emboss too. So by the time you end up doing all this stuff, you see you're creating something that is not there, that people can't imagine, because your manipulation, your creativity depends on all this whole stuff. If you try this emboss now, you're getting something different. So that is that in this manipulation. Then your perspective. Wow, this actually huge. Sorry, let me scale this down. Okay, so your perspective too, once you click on it, wherever, anyhow you want to do it. Now with this perspective too, you can do anything you're looking for. You could turn this thing to look anyhow. So that is for this perspective too, and that is everything you need to know in this shape manipulation. You try everything and you're getting, especially your marks too, and your 3D too, and your perspective too, and your shadows too. Imagine introducing a shadow to this, and you're reducing the blur and you're increasing it like this. Then let's look for a color. Somebody might use this as a logo. I don't know the kind of logo, but what I'm trying to say in essence is this: by the time you end up trying every tool here in any design, you have to spend time. You get the best, but most of the challenge we have is that we are too quick to finish our job, and when we are too quick, we'll not get the best out of pixel art. So spend time to create whatever you're doing. And another thing about this is that it will be custom, it will be yours. You don't have to worry about any plagiarism like someone coming to hold you for stealing their icon, but this is complete 100% yours. So let me take this off. So with this about image, then you could do this for any shapes you're looking for, or image, whatever you're looking for. So let me get an image. So let me get from my browser. Let me use this. So with this kind of stuff, you will know how to use your pixel stuff. I'm just playing around with this stuff to show you something. So let me turn it. By the time you're testing everything, so there's almost sometimes you might even crop it, like how, like, okay, now let's stay on that second image to the same max 2. Let's max it out. Let me rotate it back. Sorry. So what I'm trying to say is that with these big Z tools, you could do anything. This tool was what I use in cropping myself into the phone in the class flyer. So then I use it to position myself very well. So with all the tools there, you could use it to do wonders. So let me end the class, this video here.